So, while some of you go to nationals, some of us get packages. Now, lately I've been doing individual videos on each item in an unboxing, but I'm gonna do kind of a big one with each one in here, and then a couple of these I'm gonna do a separate one, but I'll explain why in just a second. Okay, so there's 4 things from MoYu. We have the MF4, the Mastermorphix, the new Cong's design Pyraminx, and the tensioning device. So I'll first open up this tensioning device, and this is what I'm going to do a separate review on, or just a video on how exactly it works. It's a way to get even tension. So these things right here, it's a hard plastic. I actually thought they were like rubbery before, but yeah, it's a hard plastic. So here is my magnetic GTS2. The way this works is if you are having trouble getting even tensions, and actually there's sort of something that's a little bit more difficult with these puzzles. Normally you would have the centerpiece, see if I can get it to focus right here. There we go. Well, it's not really focused at all. But normally the centerpiece would have like another extra plastic rod that you could easily see how far it pulls out or how many threads you could see, and you can't really see that here. So the way this would work then, and you'd probably take the whole thing apart, I'm just going to do this for right now. This fits right inside of here. Can I get it to fit inside of here? Maybe my tensions are too tight for this right now, but it'll fit right inside of there, and then you can tension each side to this length. And I guess that's almost like what their standard tensions would be. Doesn't really say in here. I know they have a video online on how to exactly use it. But yeah, so it's just a way to get even tensions. And I'll do a video separately on that. But yeah, this is just a hard plastic. It also comes with a new screwdriver. If you have the old MoYu screwdriver, they don't fit these new screws. So that's almost useless unless you use it on bigger cubes or older models like that. But yeah, so screwdriver, this, I will do a video on that later. Let's look at the MF4. I got out the MF4S. Here's the MF4. Already looking at this, wow, huge difference. Look at the flooring holes. This is the 4S and this is the 4. Huge difference. So as far as corner cutting, here's the 4S. Let's see here. It kind of, it's okay. It's a really flexible feeling. Let's see this, just basic corner cutting. A little bit less, kind of expected, but it's really stable feeling. So I would consider this a beginner type puzzle. I wouldn't see, I mean, I don't see Drew Brads using this at all, but I also don't see him using the 4S. So this definitely feels much more like something that I would have a beginner use, and it flows well still. I'm still getting a good control on it, but it definitely doesn't corner cut. It almost feels like I don't know how to explain it. I don't want to say modified Shangsho because that might be too old school, but it's definitely works. It definitely is a lot more controllable, a lot more lighter. This has that flexibility that I don't enjoy. It's not a good flexibility that allows it to corner cut more. It's just kind of flexible. So yeah, the MF4, much more stable feeling. I don't know if anything else is different with the pieces. Actually, let me just pop some pieces out so we can look at that right now. I don't think I'm going to do a separate review on this one just because I don't like doing reviews on what I would call budget puzzles. The reason is because the review ends up being, it's okay, it's not great, it's not bad, and I don't want to say that over and over. So here is the MF4S and the MF4. Pieces are very similar. The 4 actually has a little more of a bump, a little indent there. So I don't know exactly if that's going to do anything, although I realized, oh, I hate putting 4x4s back together. So I'll do that later. Let me do one more thing. And here's something interesting. The 4S has 3 pieces out of around a center stock, and the 4 is just that. But yeah, it has this extra bump on the 4. So maybe that's what helps it be a little more controllable, I'm assuming. But that is a nice change. That way, I saw someone recently on Facebook was talking about that cubing classroom 2, 3, 4, and 5, the box you get. And they said, you know, it's all great, but the 4 isn't as much. I don't think the 4 is bad at all, but I definitely like this a lot more. But yeah, and honestly, your times will probably be the exact same on either one. Let's go to the Mastermorphix. Here we go. Now, shades, great. Bright shades look good. This feels smaller. Do I have that over here? I do not. The Chi one was very bubbly. This one doesn't seem as big. This is more reminiscent of the Lan Lan Shangshou one. Florian holes are decent, nothing too crazy. Let's check, I guess, a little corner cutting. Nope, barely any. Barely any corner cutting, but the Chi one has also that frosted plastic, so this has a bit more of that sort of almost old school look to it. Not old school look. The feeling of the Shangshou, but modernized and updated. So I'm going to scramble this. I love Mastermorphix. It's one of my favorite puzzles, at least one of my favorite shape mods to solve. This one flows well. I mean, I think if it was between the Shangshou Lan Lan or this just definitely wins out. The Chi one is a little bit bulkier, has that frosted plastic as well. So if you really like that frosted plastic, those frosted shades, or just want something a bit bulkier, that would be it. This one actually reminds me of the new Shangshou ones that they've been making, the 4x4 and 5x5. This feels exactly as if Shangshou updated their 3x3 line. So if you had the 4x4 and 5x5 from Shangshou and want a 3x3 that kind of matches, MoYu. Definitely the way to go. Okay, one more Cong's design Pyraminx. Now, this one, I mean, let's do some turns with it. I know the cam's a little bit high. Kind of just trying something new. I know people would rather see the puzzle, me looking down, but the fact this is an unboxing, I can talk to you a little bit more this way, and I plan to do other videos later on. So, first thing to note, ball bearings. It has ball bearings. It is not magnetic. That's not a bad thing. I don't think magnets really make the Pyraminx any better, really. I think people like the MoYu one, the Chi one, because they're good Pyraminxes. So this one definitely beats out the MoYu one that has the ball bearings. As far as the magnetic one, I prefer this over the magnetic one. The magnetic one is so loose and flexible, I just do not like it. Corner cutting on these stock tensions, it's okay. It's not doing anything crazy, but I'm getting it's not corner cutting from everywhere. The big thing with this, let's see if I can pry some of these tops off. I saw this earlier today, or at least last night, about the MoYu, MoYu posted it, the sort of ball bearing tensioning system, because you can adjust ball bearings to be different amounts of clickiness. So I can't get this part at the moment, but I'm going to try to do that. But yeah, the way it's set up is that instead of adjusting each ball bearing separately with a different screw, there's one device that will adjust all three of them together, or at least in one spot. So that way, if you want it to be clicky or not as clicky, it's easy to get those even tensions. You just do one turn and adjust all of those. Actually, I've been interested in seeing something like that for 3x3, where you adjust one screw and the rest of them kind of adjust with it. That's probably a whole different mechanism that would have to be created. But yeah, it's definitely, if you don't like the MoYu magnetic one, but want something that's MoYu that has ball bearings, this would definitely be the way to go. I'll probably do a separate video just going over that. So I'll do a separate video on this as well as the tensioning system. Mastermorphix doesn't really need one. It's a Mastermorphix. It works really well. Nothing brand new, but works well. And the MF4, which I think is what should have worked first with the Cubing Classroom series, at least compared to what the MF5 is, or even honestly, the MF3S kind of fits that as well. I think the RS is a bit too flexible sometimes for people starting out, but that's just my thoughts on that. Okay, so that's about it. So thank you for watching. Leave your thoughts, questions in the comment section below. Hit like, subscribe for more content like this in the future, and as always, stop by speakreview.com for more news and reviews. Dogs are barking. This is the 4S. This is